Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to the Late Night Wrestling Show with Super J here on the Wrestle Cave. Just bringing to you guys another show, this time a WWE Battleground 2017 pay-per-view review and results. Sorry I'm on a little bit later tonight, guys, but better later than never. So anyway, I thought it was a good show tonight. I personally thought the first half of the show was definitely better than the second. I thought they had some questionable finishes to end the show, and also with the AJ Styles Kevin Owens match. We're going to get into the big matches as the show goes on, but we're going to start out when the night started, and that was a kickoff show. Now, I was really hyped for this pay-per-view altogether, mainly because of the Punjabi Prison match, but also because we had a lot of guys on tonight's show that had a lot of wrestling quality, wrestling ability, from the pre-show all the way on to the main event, so I was really happy with that. I was definitely excited for Battleground 2017, and it's pretty surprising, you know, what a fun July it's been in WWE. I thought Raw put on a great pay-per-view, and WWE Great Balls of Fire, and SmackDown tried to follow it up tonight, and I just thought they didn't have enough star power to go around, but nevertheless, I thought it was a good show, and we'll start going with the pre-show. Started out with the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, going up against Aiden English, the artist, and Aiden English was giving you some opera singing before the match. Ty Dillinger came out with a big ovation. From what I understand in Philadelphia, some of the sections of seats were actually closed off, and I know if you guys have been looking on the internet over the last few weeks, they had a lot of seats available going up over the last 2 weeks. They actually had a video with John Cena actually trying to promote the show and try to get fans to buy tickets. They even had tickets half off. So I thought the crowd actually sounded good in some matches, but from what I understand, they didn't sell a lot of tickets, which is alarming. And I don't know if you guys noticed, they also said, hyping up the SummerSlam show here in 2017, they said that tickets are still available at Ticketmaster. I don't know about you guys, but usually a big WWE show is sold out in minutes. And I don't know why, the attendance is low, but, we'll just keep our eye on that. But thanks, everybody, for chatting in and saying hi. I'll try to get to everybody in a little bit. What's up, Reviews, Customs, and More? Jaden Alvarez. As you guys know, we got some pretty cool action figure matches going on here all the time. You guys can check those out. And as always, WWE figure unboxings and WWE breaking news, and then the reviews of Raws and SmackDowns. You can check me out at 11 o'clock every night here on the Late Night Wrestling Show. And the pre-show, again, had Ty Dillinger and the artist, Aiden English. It was a decent match. I thought, no way Ty Dillinger loses this match. And what does WWE do? Throw a curveball into the pre-show, and Ty Dillinger ends up losing this match. The fans were shocked. So is everybody watching on TV. Ty Dillinger, definitely a talent that we can see going into the mid-card, maybe United States champion into 2017, early 2018. He's going to have good matches with Owens and some other guys. Mike Kanellis, I could see him fighting. A lot of good heels that Ty Dillinger can be fighting. And you got to give credit to the artist. He got the win tonight, but he's been working his ass off, even on the tag team, the Vaudevillains. His partner ended up getting fired by WWE and released. And now the artist making, just making the best of his situation and actually getting on the pre-show several times here in the summer and getting some matches that, he's putting guys over, so all the credit to him. That's what they need in WWE. But as you know, the show started, and again, I was really hyped for this pay-per-view. The Punjabi Prison match had me excited. Also, the tag team title match, that opened the show. We ended up having the Usos, who have been champions since the week before WrestleMania, when they won it off American Alpha. And the Usos have kept that heel gimmick going in for the last year, ever since really the draft last year when they were drafted to SmackDown Live. They ended up turning heel and turning up the heat and, just going back to the top of the tag team division on SmackDown Live. And they held it for about 4 months till they got beat tonight by the New Day. And I don't know about you guys, but this was maybe the best tag team match of the year. I talked about last month's pay-per-view and had the New Day and the Usos, and it was one of the best tag team matches I had seen. And it ended up having a terrible finish. And tonight, I just thought all the way the New Day were going to win it. And the New Day came out, and something you usually don't see, the Big E was actually on the outside, and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston were actually the two that were fighting for the titles. And Xavier Woods, guys, he's been working his ass off as well. And that elbow drop that he does when he walks onto the side rope off the turnbuckle, and then he jumps 15 or 20 feet with that elbow drop, it may be the best one I've seen since the Macho Man and then, the Drifter, Elias Sampson. But the the New Day got a big win here, winning the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and you just knew it was going to happen sometime soon. But I'd like to talk about something that I can see happening here in the future. I definitely see this tag team rivalry going on to SummerSlam, guys. It's definitely great wrestling, in-ring quality, and these guys have put on 2 great matches in the last 2 pay-per-views. I say keep this going to SummerSlam. You want that big 4-hour show with the hour pre-show. You want to have these guys on the card because you want to have great wrestling matches. And there's not a lot of tag teams to go around, so I want to see these guys fight one more time at SummerSlam. But Big E sitting on the outside, does that mean he's going to get a singles run? Guys, are we going to see Big E going after that United States Championship here to end 2017? Imagine Big E going off on his own, still staying with the New Day, getting those big pops, selling that merchandise. But you got Xavier and Kofi holding those tag titles down, and then Big E go for single stardom in the WWE. Hi, Artie. How you doing out there? Uncle Artie, thanks for chatting in. And we're just giving some reviews and results here from Battleground 2017. Give me your guys' feedback, what you guys thought of the show overall. We just talked about the pre-show match with Ty Dillinger and Aiden English. Now we're talking about the tag team title match. New Day won it. Like I said, I see Big E with the singles run ahead of him. He's a big-time star, in my opinion. He's definitely charismatic. He's got the personality. He can get that crowd popping. And he's just hilarious, always making me laugh when he's in the ring doing promos or matches. And I can see Big E with a lot of potential, guys. And as you know, he was an NXT champion. He was also Intercontinental champion before he became a part of the New Day. And Big E, I think, has single star written all over him. And the place to do it is the Land of Opportunity on SmackDown Live. So I'm happy to see that. The New Day. Some people are saying New Day sucks, but you know New Day rocks, okay? After all, they're longest reigning tag team champions of all time. And now we don't know how long this tag team title reign could happen with the New Day. It could last over a year and a half. It could last 2 years. We don't know. But like I said, Big E's got a single run ahead of him. Look for that. And, SmackDown Live making superstars here like a factory. They're just turning them out in WWE right now. They're making new stars on Raw, new stars on SmackDown, NXT. They're just making, their brand bigger and better. But just really happy with the New Day tonight winning those tag belts. After that, we had a match that I thought would be a little bit later in the show. We had Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin fight in a one-on-one brawl. And as you guys know, Baron Corbin at Money in the Bank ended up attacking Shinsuke Nakamura before the Money in the Bank ladder match. Baron Corbin actually ended up winning that match. He's the Money in the Bank holder right now. And Shinsuke Nakamura ended up attacking Baron Corbin a few weeks ago. And these guys have basically been going back and forth. And you knew they were on a collision course. And, I was finally happy to see it on a pay-per-view. Shinsuke Nakamura, everybody loves his entrance. He's great in the ring. He's not real flashy in the ring. So when you watch him, you know you're going to see a good quality wrestling match. And Baron Corbin, I like Baron Corbin. I like his finishing move. But I don't want to see him in the ring for 15 or 20 minutes because I don't think he can do it. He kind of lost my interest a little bit. And we know he's a great brawler and everything like that. But as you guys are saying, it was a sad ending to the match. It really was. Shinsuke Nakamura, he had hit him with several kicks, almost knocked Baron Corbin out. Shinsuke was getting ready for a Kinshasa, and then Baron Corbin ended up giving Shinsuke a low blow when he was going for the reverse exploder, which caused Baron Corbin to get disqualified, and Shinsuke Nakamura ended up getting the victory. Now, by disqualification, though. So it was a cheap win for Shinsuke, but still giving the overall, push to Baron Corbin, because he kicked his ass after and gave Shinsuke the end of days, which one of my favorite moves. But those are two guys that you see really going places on SmackDown Live in the WWE. I mean, Baron Corbin, obviously, since he's came in, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Now he is the Money in the Bank holder. He's ready to cash that Money in the Bank in whenever WWE chooses. And you know what's going to happen here to end the summer or else in the fall. We'll talk about it later when I think he's going to cash it in. But curious to see where Shinsuke Nakamura is going to go. I don't think they're going to keep this rivalry going on to SummerSlam. I think Shinsuke Nakamura is going to get thrown into the AJ Styles and Kevin Owens rivalry that's going on. I think that would be a great triple threat match to add to SummerSlam with 3 guys known around the world, wrestling in other continents, and just great styles. You got Shinsuke Nakamura with that great in-ring wrestling style. You got AJ that can wrestle in the ring, but he can also high fly up those high top ropes. And then you have Kevin Owens who can do it all, just like AJ Styles. So these guys, if they get a triple threat match at SummerSlam, expect Owens, Shinsuke, and AJ to steal the show, so to speak. But SmackDown Live, I thought they had the first half of the show really had me on the edge of my seat. I thought it was great. The second half of the show, not so much. But we're going to continue. Right after that, we had a fatal five-way match for the #1 contendership for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And as you guys know, Naomi has been glowing all over SmackDown Live. Even her belt now glows. It's got LED lights on it, glowing in the dark. Naomi, I talked about it. She was one of the Funkadactyls years ago with Brodus Clay, and she was one of the dancers. And I always thought, when they put her in the ring, I thought she had potential. And for whatever reason, she was actually, always held down on the, the lower end of the card. And once SmackDown Live, the draft, she got drafted to SmackDown Live, she just turned up the heat, and SmackDown Live ran with it. And as you know, she's a two-time SmackDown Live Women's Champion. She's on fire right now, and she's on top of the division. And they had a fatal five-way match tonight to determine who would fight her at SummerSlam. So we got Charlotte, we got Becky Lynch, we also got Tamina, we got Lana, and then we also got, who was it? Natalya. And what more can you expect? These girls fought last month in a Money in the Bank match, most of these women, so you knew that it would be a good in-ring match. It was an elimination match, and it ended up winning. Who ended up winning was actually Natalya. And that was a shocker to me, because I thought there's no way that Charlotte loses this match. I mean, she's the best wrestler, women's wrestler in WWE. She's the alpha male of the division. And without a doubt, I think she's heads, so far ahead of any other talent and, in any of the WWE as far as the women go, on Raw or SmackDown. And Charlotte didn't win this match. It came down to the very end, and Natalya ended up winning the match. And what more can you say? She calls herself the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. She's the daughter of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the former Hart Foundation tag team champions, along with Bret Hart. But Natalya, over the years, she's been Divas champion, and she's always put on great matches. I mean, she's had great matches with other girls on SmackDown Live, with Becky Lynch, amongst other girls, last year at the end of 2016, where you said she is awesome in the ring, but we've just seen her way too much. It's like Dolph Ziggler. He works great in the ring, but we've just seen it one too many times. We're tired of it. Get her off the TV. But we're going to have one good wrestling match when it comes to Naomi defending the title against Natalya at SummerSlam. I thought Charlotte and Naomi were going to be on the main card at SummerSlam, but for whatever reason, we have Natalya and Naomi going at it, and I think it's going to be on the pre-show at SummerSlam. So I expect Charlotte to be somehow involved in some other match, but we don't really, know what yet. But after that, we got Kevin Owens and AJ Styles United States Championship match. You guys know that these are two of the best wrestlers in the world. When they get in that squared circle, they're going to put on one hell of a show. And they did tonight. I thought the ending was not too good. As you know, Kevin Owens was champion. He ended up losing to AJ Styles at Madison Square Garden a couple weeks ago. And that shocked the world at a house show. It wasn't televised. We started hearing it on social media. Everybody was talking about it. New U.S. champion, AJ Styles. They even teased SummerSlam. They even teased Shinsuke and AJ were interacting backstage before their tag team match a week ago, and Shinsuke Nakamura was eyeing that U.S. title that AJ Styles had. And I'm telling you, I thought we were on a one-on-one collision course for SummerSlam, and WWE teased it, so I think we might get it at WrestleMania now. So if they did that, that'd be great for me, because a big-time show, you put on some good matches, that's what we want to see, right? So Kevin Owens going up against AJ Styles. AJ Styles the champion. Kevin Owens, I thought there's no way he wins this match back. Kevin Owens, he's held the title for almost every day that he's been in the WWE. I mean, he's been in the WWE almost 2 years and 3 months, and it seems like at least a year and a half of that time he was champion. He's a 3-time United States champion. He's a several-time Intercontinental champion. He's been an NXT champion. He's been WWE Universal Champion. I mean, we know he's a great heel, but does he have to have a belt around him at all times? I don't think so. So I was not really happy with them putting it back on Kevin Owens' waist tonight. AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler. He's the most phenomenal talent in the WWE and around the world, and the only man that's in his level is Seth Rollins, but he's on Monday Night Raw. So Styles and Owens put on a good match tonight. Styles ended up having a calf crusher at the end of the match. It was ended up getting reversed by Owens. Owens put a crossface on AJ. Then Styles ended up getting a crossface on Owens after a reversal. And then Owens reversed it into a pin and had AJ's shoulders down and ended up getting the win. And what more can you say? AJ Styles losing the title. I was not happy about it. He just won it a couple weeks ago. Are they going to give it back to him? I'm not sure, but AJ Styles maybe going back to the main event scene, maybe going to face Jinder Mahal in the next couple months here. Maybe they're going to do the right thing and put the title back on AJ, the WWE Championship, maybe to end the year here in 2017. But Kevin Owens, where do they go from here? Like I said, maybe they make it a triple threat match. They throw Shinsuke in the mix. We get AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens triple threat match for the U.S. title at SummerSlam. That'd be a big-time matchup on a big-time card. SummerSlam, biggest party of the summer. So we'll look forward to that, and we'll see what happens. But after that, we ended up getting Sami Zayn against Mike Kanellis. And you guys hear me talk about Sami Zayn all the time. He's one of the best wrestlers in the WWE. He's great in-ring talent. He can do those high-flying moves. He can wrestle great in the ring. And he's just got that great personality, and he's even got a great theme song. So altogether, it makes for, a great baby face. And for some reason, WWE has not put a title on this man yet. He's been in the WWE now for 3 years. He's been NXT champion, but since he came to the main roster on Monday Night Raw, he didn't do shit. He never won a title. He just always got his ass kicked by Braun Strowman or other guys. And definitely putting over talent. I can't say that the WWE has not put Sami Zayn up against big stars. It's just Sami Zayn has really never got any big wins, and he's just put a lot of guys over. And I think he should be rewarded with a title reign here at some point here in 2017. I mean, come on, let's reward the guy with something. Give him a title reign. But tonight, Sami Zayn put over another new talent, and that was Mike Kanellis. And Mike Kanellis came out with his wife, Maria. As you guys know, Maria's been in the WWE years ago. She came back with her new husband, Mike Kanellis, and they're on the scene. They've got like this love, thing going on where they're just disgustingly in love with one another. It's so funny. On the back of Mike Kanellis' pants and also his jacket, he had like a jumpsuit on. There was his wife Maria, her hair, and like a portrait of her, and it was pretty cool. I admit it was pretty funny. I'd definitely like to see a figure made of that, of Mike Kanellis and Maria, and I'm sure we'll see it. And even Maria had a picture of herself on the back of her clothing as well. But Sami, AJ, Shinsuke at SummerSlam, that'd be a pretty good triple threat match. But I think they're going to keep Owens, AJ, Shinsuke. I don't think they want to have another Fatal 4-Way, guys. I would like to see it, but we're already going to see a Fatal 4-Way from the Monday Night Raw. We're going to have Brock, we're going to have Braun Strowman, we're going to have Roman Reigns, we're going to have Samoa Joe. So they don't need another Fatal 4-Way on this card at SummerSlam. So that's why I'm thinking triple threat match. Now, after that, we ended up seeing, they've been doing all these promos with Fandango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango, and they're one of the, the best tag teams in WWE. You never see them in the ring anymore because they're always doing this stupid backstage skits where they're, acting like there's detectives and they're trying to find out this and find out that. Their pet horse was attacked. Anyway, I'm not even going to go through the whole shit. It's just a mess. But they were supposed to see exactly who, has been trashing their locker room and who's been messing with their stuff. And then out of nowhere, they were supposed to find out tonight, and the Ascension came in and said, "Hey guys, we're the ones that have actually been messing with you, and it's just us." And then out of nowhere, the Ascension admitted that Fandango realized that it wasn't the Ascension because they weren't even there last week. Bottom line, Fandango and Tyler Breeze ended up getting attacked, and the lights ended up going dark. So this continues as a storyline. We're going to find out who's been attacking Fandango over the last month. If you ask me, it's going to be Sanity down from NXT. As you know, Aaron Young hasn't been on lately. Killian Dane, definitely a big time star around over in Europe that's made his way into NXT with the with Sanity, and I see them coming to SmackDown Live and making some pretty good TV out of that. So maybe they're going to wait till SummerSlam to debut these guys, because from what I understand, Sanity is getting a tag team title match against the Authors of Pain at NXT Brooklyn, which is one night before SummerSlam. So maybe you could continue the storyline with Breezango all the way into SummerSlam, and then you have the big debuts of Sanity, and they kick, Fandango's ass, and also Tyler Breeze. So we'll continue with that. After that, we ended up getting a flag match with Rusev and John Cena. And I was excited for this match because, we haven't seen these guys wrestle in the ring in 4 months now. And John Cena, we're not going to see him too much here for the rest of his career. He's going to be part-time. And Rusev, I've always been a big fan of him. I always thought he was a great heel. And I liked him a little bit better when Lana came out. But it looks like they're putting Lana and Rusev their separate ways, so to speak. Lana's going to be in the women's division, and Rusev's going to be in the, the men's division. And it doesn't look like Rusev's going to have a valet anymore. But I loved it when he came out with his wife. I thought it was great TV, definitely entertaining. Rusev's an entertaining guy in the ring and out. Great in-ring, big guy, wrestler, just what you're going to have, where he kicks somebody's ass, and then you're going to have the, the good guy come back and get that big-time win. But nevertheless, I was disappointed by this match. I really was. I liked the ending when John Cena put Rusev on his shoulders and ended up giving him the attitude adjustment off of the stairs that they had built that held the flags, the United States stairs. Cena climbed up and actually gave the attitude adjustment through 2 tables on Rusev, and it looked like it hurt. And Rusev, guys, is over 300 pounds. He's a big guy. And John Cena, with the strength of him, man, even after not being on TV regularly over the last 4 months, he's definitely, still in great shape. He lifted Rusev up on his arms, threw him over him for a attitude adjustment through 2 tables. The rest of the match sucked, though. It was like they were crawling to try to get the flags. First, Rusev ended up grabbing his flag, then John Cena, and they had a finish line where everybody had to, where either Rusev or John Cena had to carry the flag all the way up by the entrance. And I didn't like that. I thought it should have been whoever grabbed the flag first would have won, but I didn't like how it was back and forth. Both of these guys, Cena and Rusev, were trying to grab for the flag just inches away. I thought that was a little bit, maybe disrespectful to all the, all the men and women that have fought and died for, our country and of the United States. And I just thought it was a little bit odd seeing those guys crawl for the flag. I know, over the history of our country, I know that's really happened before in wartime. So I didn't like the match, but I liked the ending when Cena gave the attitude adjustment on Rusev. And, I see Cena actually going on to fight for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, and, one of Cena's last big-time, pay-per-views in WWE. And I don't expect to see him, much more than at these big-time pay-per-views like SummerSlam and WrestleMania. Cena's going to be doing Hollywood stuff, TV shows, movies part-time. He's going to be doing WWE part-time. So we're not going to see a ton of him in the future. But I see John Cena going into the WWE Championship picture going into SummerSlam. And I see Rusev actually going to get a rivalry with Randy Orton. I'm curious to see if Randy Orton's going to get rid off TV. Earlier in the year, I had heard rumors that Randy Orton was going to be wanting some time off, and he was going to get it. And I've just seen him continue month after month. He's wrestled these, pay-per-views with Jinder Mahal. So I'm curious to see if Randy Orton's going to take some time off after his new daughter was born earlier in the year. But yeah, Derek Figures, we're going to check yours out after get done with this review. I'm going to go ahead and check it out and see if sorry guys, went off killed there. Try to watch your review, Derek Figures, after I'm done with my lady. But thanks everybody for watching here. We're just going over the Battleground 2017 show review and results. I was happy with the first half of the show. I wasn't happy with the second half. So I give this pay-per-view maybe a 6 out of 10. I thought they definitely had some cool spots, and definitely some big-time spots through tables tonight. And we're going to go on to the Punjabi prison match. This was a match I was really excited for just because, the, how big the Punjabi prison is. We've only seen it a couple times in WWE's past. in 2006 and 2007 on SmackDown. The first one was The Undertaker, and was supposed to be the Great Khali, but Khali got hurt, and Undertaker ended up fighting the Big Show. And it was a mess, guys. You had two giants in that ring. Bamboo was getting broken all over the place. They ended up having another one the next year, and that was actually one that I really enjoyed. The Great Khali ended up fighting Batista in that match. Batista ended up winning the match. Great Khali lost, and that was the last time we ever saw the Punjabi prison before tonight. And like I said, I was excited to see it because visually it's just awesome. You know, two guys that are fighting in this giant Punjabi prison made out of steel and forest bamboo. And, you know, I'm all hyped up for it. And tonight, I thought the match, you know, really let me down. I'm not a fan of Jinder Mahal. I've told you guys, he can walk the walk. You know, WWE's got a great entrance for him. He comes out, he looks like a champion, he talks like a champion. This guy's 6'5", he's almost 300 pounds. He's, you know, ripped, physically, you know, definitely tip-top shape, but he sucks in the ring, man. He's got one of the worst finishers out there. He's not great, you know, selling moves when somebody's putting a DDT on him or something like that. He just looks awkward in the ring. I'm not really a big fan of him, you know, of his in-ring style. And I don't know about you guys, but like I said, Jinder Mahal, we're stuck with him as champion right now. And as you know, he's represented over 1 billion people in India. So WWE is going to keep that title on Jinder Mahal for a little bit longer. And this match had some cool spots, definitely. You had Samil and Samir Singh end up showing up after Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal were trying to get let out of the first cage. As you know, the Punjabi prison had two obstacles. You had an inner cage that was right around the ring, and then you had a bigger cage on the outside. So you had to escape one cage, then you had to escape the second one, and that's how you won the match. So we had Samil and Samir Singh. They ended up showing up right after the last door was getting ready to close, and they got Jinder Mahal out of the ring, and then Randy Orton was stuck inside the first cage. And the Singh brothers, Samil and Samir, ended up getting Jinder Mahal up. They ended up getting him up the second cage. He was climbing up almost to the top, and then Randy Orton started climbing out of the first cage. He made his way onto the second cage from the first cage. And then you had Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton fighting 15 feet up in the air on this big, you know, giant Punjabi prison. And they were going at it, you know what I mean? Just wasn't a great in-ring wrestling match. They had some cool spots. I mean, these guys were fighting for their lives up 15, 20 feet in the air. I thought that was pretty cool. After that, they both ended up getting back down. Randy Orton got Jinder Mahal down from the top of the second cage. And then the Singh brothers proceeded to take Randy Orton down, and they started kicking Randy Orton. Randy Orton started getting the best of the Singh brothers, kicked their ass, gave them you know, suplexes. I thought there was a lot of great spots in this match. It's just Jinder Mahal is terrible as WWE champion. He can't wrestle in the ring. We know Randy Orton is one of the best ever. He's got the best finishing move in WWE today in the RKO. And as you know, he's been kicking the Singh brothers' asses over the last couple months. And we knew we'd see it again tonight. And between that first and second cage, Randy Orton got him a piece of India, so to speak, because he kicked Samil's ass. He kicked Samir's ass. Randy Orton was then trying to escape the second cage a few minutes after Randy Orton beat the hell out of everybody with steel chairs and bamboo kendo sticks. And Randy Orton was getting the best out of them. What more can I say? WWE is at least lets Randy Orton kick their ass. You know what I mean? Because they got to do something. You know, push Jinder Mahal as WWE champion. I'm not a fan of him, but I'm a fan of Randy Orton kicking some ass and throwing RKOs. But Randy Orton was trying to escape the second cage towards the end of the match, and then he was almost to the top, and then Samil Singh actually found his way through one of the square bars inside the second cage, and Samil found his way out. He's climbing up the top of the cage, and he's holding Randy Orton and stopping him from climbing over and winning the match. And then Randy Orton started beating the hell out of Samil Singh, Samir, all the way up on top of the second cage. Samir ends up getting hit with another right hand, ends up falling 20 feet through the commentator's table. And I don't know if you guys know, but he took a stiff shot. You know, the table really didn't break like it usually does. When he fell down, his back actually fell down on the black piece that's on top of the announcer's table, but right underneath that is one of the monitors. And that's got to be really stiff to fall from, man. To fall 20 feet on top of an object that really isn't going to move because it's just sitting there, you know, like a square box underneath the that piece of the announcer's table, and I thought that was definitely a big, hard fall. And from what I understand, he laid there until after the show ended and ended up getting helped out. But definitely some big spots in this match. You ended up having a shocker of the year when other than the Hardy Boys when they returned. But you had Great Khali ended up returning. Randy Orton was ready to climb out of the Punjabi prison after getting the best of Jinder Mahal, and out of nowhere you hear Jinder Mahal's music hit, and I'm like, it's the Great Khali, it's the Great Khali, and out of nowhere, they turn it right to the entrance, that camera, right to the entrance, and who was it walking out? The 7-foot, 5-inch, 500-pound Great Khali. It was awesome. I was always, a fan of Great Khali just because of his size. When he's like, those big giants, you have to have respect for those guys. They can just, just the size of their hands and their feet, and, the giants are very rare in the wrestling business, so when you have them, you try to enjoy them. But Great Khali, 10 years ago, when he first came in, he was like an unstoppable force. He was beating The Undertaker. He was beating Kane. He was beating Batista. He was winning these big-time matches in the first 2 years of his career. His health ended up going south with leg problems and knee problems and foot problems. And after that, he ended up, getting relegated to like a comedy show. Basically, on WWE, he was like the Khali Kiss Cam and all this stupid stuff on Monday Night Raw. And he really wasn't doing anything of any importance. And from, what I hear, he's actually been training some guys over in India, with professional wrestling. So he's been in shape, apparently. I didn't expect him to come back tonight. But if you guys have been watching any of the action figure matches here in the Wrestle Cave, you can see that the Great Khali has been accompanying Jinder Mahal over the last couple matches here in the Wrestle Cave over the last couple weeks. So I thought that's pretty cool that Great Khali ended up coming out. That was my idea, to throw him in there to be Jinder Mahal's bodyguard. I certainly hope it continues. Great Khali ended up grabbing Randy Orton with a chokehold around his neck, and the Great Khali's hands were, as big as Andre the Giant's hands, maybe bigger, and they just looked so big on Randy Orton's neck, and it just looked like that chokehold was just, sucking the life out of the, Randy Orton. And there wasn't any way Randy Orton could get out of the hold, you know what I mean? And Great Khali ended up choking him all the way until Jinder Mahal started climbing up the cage. He stood right next to Randy Orton when he was getting choked out by the Great Khali, and Jinder Mahal, was talking smack to Randy Orton on top of the Punjabi prison there, the second cage, and then the Great Khali was like, get up, and Jinder Mahal ended up climbing out, and he ended up winning the match. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of this match. I thought the first half of the match sucked. If it wasn't for the Great Khali coming out and the bamboo sticks and the big-time spot that Samir Singh, risked his life tonight like a stunt devil on Hollywood, jumping 20 feet through a commentator's table, doing, a Shane McMahon, basically. But, what more can you say? WWE, they try to give you a good show no matter, what the outcome is. There was definitely some big surprises in this show tonight. I didn't expect for Aiden English, the artist, to win. I didn't expect Natalya to win the #1 contender ship match for the women's championship. I sure as hell didn't expect Kevin Owens to win. And Jinder Mahal, I expected him to win. I just thought that they might continue this rivalry. They'll continue this title reign of Jinder Mahal into SummerSlam, because I think Jinder Mahal is going to fight John Cena, and then I think over that time, in the next 60 days, I think Cena will win the title, and he'll break Ric Flair's record, and maybe it will happen at SummerSlam. I think John Cena, he deserves it. He's definitely been, the biggest name of the WWE in the last 15 years, and he's paid his dues, and he's definitely worked hard for the company. I think rewarding Cena on a big-time show like SummerSlam, you could have Cena win the title, guys, from Jinder, and then you could have Baron Corbin cash in that Money in the Bank at SummerSlam on John Cena, the new champion, or else you could have Baron Corbin cash it in, in a rematch or something like that when Jinder and Cena fight. But I definitely see Cena, Jinder fighting at SummerSlam here to end the summer, and I don't know who my pick is to win that match yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, I just hope Jinder Mahal's title reign ends here soon, and you might actually get a few cheers for John Cena this time if he beats Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam and ends that title reign of the modern-day Maharaja. But Jinder Mahal, what more can you say? Main evented 3 straight pay-per-views. He's one of the worst wrestlers to beat WWE champion, I think, in a while. and WWE is still pushing forward with Jinder. They've made him have a great entrance. I want to talk one thing about WWE. As you guys know, I talked about here in the show that it's known that WWE has stopped pyrotechnics, which are fireworks, on all shows, period. All televised shows, all house shows, pay-per-views now as well. As you saw tonight, there were no fireworks. You're paying big money to go see WWE, and I think that was all part of the show. And for a whole generation of fans to, basically expect that, and then for WWE to take it away out of nowhere, I think it's a big mistake. I think some fans are going to get turned off to that. And like I said, WWE getting record profits every quarter, guys, every 3 months. They're boasting about record profits, more money they're making than ever. And, they go ahead and they cut, all the fireworks out of the WWE. One thing I can say is it looks like they're trying to do a lot better with the lighting in the entrances. As you guys know, the wrestlers walk out on that video stage now, and then you got the giant Titantron behind them. They're doing some great stuff with Baron Corbin, with Randy Orton with the snake that follows him. Also, Jinder Mahal as that red follows him all the way to the ring, that red lighting. So WWE, I think, is going to do a lot more things with entrances that way. We may not see fireworks other than at WrestleMania or like SummerSlam or Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble, or a new champion for that matter. They get fireworks after someone wins the title. But looks like entrances and pay-per-views to open, we're not going to see them. But I thought it was overall a good show tonight. Like I said, a 6 out of 10. I thought they started out great with the first half of the show, and as the second half really just started to lose its luster for me. The Rusev-Cena match is what slowed me down, because I thought those two guys had a lot of ring rust that they had in the ring. I don't know about you guys, but I thought Rusev was really, lagging around the ring, taking his time, catching his breath, and the same thing with John Cena. John Cena still looks as strong as ever, and same with Rusev, but they both just, had a lot of ring rust tonight. I wish they would have had some matches in the last few weeks since they returned on July 4th, and I thought they would have, had some matches here and worked some of that rust off, but obviously they didn't, because they had a big-time match, the flag match tonight, and I thought they stunk up the building, other than when Cena gave that attitude adjustment through 2 tables. If it wasn't for Rusev almost, breaking his back tonight, with John Cena throwing him through 2 tables, that match would have been maybe the worst match of the night, in my opinion. I'd like to go ahead and talk about SmackDown Live as a whole. I know some people online are starting to talk about the Road Dogg, the head writer on SmackDown Live, getting fired. I don't think it's a lot of the Road Dogg's say on who wins the matches. I think WWE, management, Vince, Triple H, some guys like that, I think they are in charge of who wins the matches. But I think the Road Dogg is mainly in charge of, match endings and, storylines and promos, stuff like that. But I think it's WWE. They're a global company now. They're a billion-dollar company. It's not Vince McMahon now. He doesn't get what he wants 99% of the time, 100% of the time. He still does most of the time, but I think Jinder Mahal being WWE champion is, a business decision. You've got over 1 billion people in India. WWE Network went over there a few months ago for the first time, and, why not put the title around, an Indian wrestler and take it from there? And like I said, Jinder Mahal has done a great job as champion, walking the walk, but I think when it gets to match time, he's terrible in the ring. So they need to work on that, and if Jinder Mahal isn't ready to be champion, then let him work in the ring another year and a half more before you put the fucking title on him, But you got much better wrestlers than Jinder Mahal, like AJ Styles, Randy Orton, other guys like that could be champion. And, I'll get off that subject. But you guys go ahead and leave in the comments below your opinion on that. But overall, like I said, it was a good show. Definitely looking forward to SummerSlam. You're going to have Raw and SmackDown both having their talent all over the card at SummerSlam. We're going to have some big-time matches with the biggest names of Raw and SmackDown. As you know, Raw's going to have probably a fatal 4-way match with Lesnar, Strowman, Reigns, and Samoa Joe. It looks like SmackDown Live, in my opinion, is going to have Cena, Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. It looks like Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, maybe a triple threat match for the United States title. Maybe the Usos versus the New Day one more time in some type of match. Maybe, like a tag team Iron Man match or some type of, gimmick match. I think they've wrestled 2 times in a row now. Give them something to work with this next time. Give them some type of stipulation, and I think it'll be a good show. One thing I'm curious to see is Chad Gable and Jason Jordan now splitting up. Jason Jordan being the illegitimate kid of Kurt Angle. And Jason Jordan's definitely going to have a big-time program in SummerSlam. He's going to have a big-time match. And he's a great in-ring worker. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Chad Gable on SmackDown. He wrestled AJ Styles a couple weeks ago. He's had some big-time singles matches, put over some guys. And Chad Gable, definitely a lot of great wrestling background for him. He was an Olympic wrestler, also college wrestler. Now in WWE, he can put a lot of guys over, and we're going to see him a lot on SmackDown Live. As you know, they got other guys they didn't even use tonight. They got Luke Harper, Eric Rowan of the Wyatt family. As you know, when they're not involved with Bray Wyatt, they really don't have anything to do in the WWE. You've also got the Ascension Tag Team. You've got Breezango, and Breezango's going to continue their stupid backstage skits right now. And just overall, like I said, SmackDown Live, that they're going to put on a good wrestling show. They just have great in-ring workers. And it was a good Sunday night to watch wrestling here in the summer of 2017. Guys, we don't, you can talk all the crap you want about WWE and the product, but they're giving us more shows now, more content on the network. And, NXT, even, you're going to have new guys coming up from NXT to SmackDown and Raw here in the fall. Asuka's going to be coming up to Raw or SmackDown, the longest reigning champion in the WWE today. She's in NXT. She's the women's champion. She's been champ now for almost a year and a half. And I expect to see her coming up soon in the next few months. You got Bobby Roode, who should be coming over to SmackDown Live, if you ask me, to fight AJ Styles. And Bobby Roode's going to be a big-time player. And I saw on NXT, they got some good tag teams as well. They got Sanity, and they're led by their leader, the singles wrestler, Eric Young, and then you also have the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering, who are going to be up to the main roster right after SummerSlam. I think they're going to lose the titles at NXT TakeOver, and then I think they're going to be, one of the biggest tag teams on Raw or SmackDown. Thanks, Brandon's Wrestling Show. Thanks for your nice comment. Thanks to everybody who leaves comments. I have some cool matches up here in the next week or two, and of course the Late Night Wrestling Show episodes. Super J is going to be on 11 o'clock every night. And, of course, Jace Ball. Thanks, buddy. Your videos are awesome. Anybody, just type in Jace Ball on YouTube. He's a young fan of ours, and he likes to, come on the channel. And he's also got some unboxings. He does some matches as well. So remember, Jace Ball. And thanks for watching, buddy. And thank you, Ben Bow. I couldn't read it. Derek Figures 2, Brandon's Wrestling Show. You're going to see some cool matches in the next week or two. We've taken a few days off from that. And, again, the Late Night Wrestling Show with Super J here in the Wrestle Cave. You're going to see it nightly, 11 o'clock p.m. Sorry if I'll get on there a little bit later sometimes. And tomorrow when Raw's over, expect me on 10 or 15 minutes after the show ends. But as you guys know, when I go live, you can also watch it the next day. It's just one of the videos. You guys just got to look for it under the Wrestle Cave YouTube channel. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm out of here. It's been a lot of fun talking to you. I thank you guys a lot for all your nice comments, and thanks for being a part of the Wrestle Cave. I have a lot of fun. I'm a big-time wrestling fan, and I know you guys are too. Thanks, Ricardo Perez. And, I've been a wrestling fan for over 25 years. I'm 32 years old. I've always been a great WWE fan, and it's my happy place. No matter what's going on in my life, WWE is always there for me. Thanks, Uncle Artie. Love you too. It's always there for me, and always, has been close to my heart. And I just want to have a place where everybody can come on here and talk wrestling. Thanks, Brandon's Wrestling Show. And check him out as well. As always, anybody, who leaves their comments below, guys, check out the comments. Leave comments. Go back and forth. A lot of people do pretty cool channels themselves, and they like to check out other people's. So, we like to network amongst each other and like to let everybody, get known and get their name out there. But like I said, I just want to have a, nice wrestling show where you guys can come on, have a good time. You guys can chat with other people and chat with me. We're going to talk about wrestling every night. And when there's not a wrestling show previous, right before the show, here with Super J. I'm going to be talking about older wrestling stuff, NWO, DX, WCW, summer of, let's say the summer of 1995. I'm going to give you guys a little show about that. I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the events I've went to in the past. I've been to 4 WrestleManias now in my life. I've seen SummerSlams. Or not SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumbles. Like I said, I'm just a big-time fan, and got this pretty cool WrestleCave for you guys to check out. Action figure matches, unboxings, and reviews of Raw, SmackDowns too. And once the winter starts, I'm going to be giving you guys Classic Wrestling Theater, and that's going to be with Super J. You're going to be getting fireside chats right by the fire. We're going to be reviewing old-school wrestling shows on the WWE Network, so we're getting involved with that. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to share with your friends. As always, I love y'all. Peace.